For the first few years of my creative business, I was hustling for every single sale. I was scraping Facebook and Craigslist for anyone looking to hire a photographer, and I was renting camera gear from the library because I couldn't afford to buy my own. And then I made one shift that completely stopped the hustle. And it's why my creative business has now lasted 16 plus years. Paid for my first house, my first car in cash, my move to sunny New Mexico, and basically my entire adult life. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what that shift was, how I diversified my income so clients started coming to me instead of me chasing them, and the exact 4-step plan that you can use to do the same thing for your creative business. So let's dive in. Okay, first I want to take you back to the very beginning, because if you're hustling for every sale right now, I've been exactly where you are. I officially started my photography business at 21 after dropping out of college. I had 81 cents to my name and over $60,000 in debt. I had no clients, no following, and no camera gear. I was renting equipment from the local library, and I was driving a 1987 Chrysler New Yorker that my great-grandmother so lovingly left for me. But it was so old and no one had touched it in so long that the back taillights literally fell off when the car hit a bump. And when I took a corner, the doors would fly open, so I had to take a rope to tie the inner door handles together so that wouldn't happen. So how did I start to get clients to come to me and actually change my business? Well, I hustled. I ordered free business cards from Vistaprints. I don't know if they still have them today. And I started knocking on doors of local businesses. I went looking for local businesses who needed photography, and I also scraped Craigslist and Facebook to see anyone who was looking to hire a photographer. Now, all the people looking to hire photographers were looking to hire wedding photographers. Now, I didn't necessarily want to shoot weddings, but I wanted to pay my bills. What I actually wanted to do was portraits. But I knew that I couldn't be picky in the beginning, and I needed to take whatever I could get to make money. That way I could build up a stockpile savings to start working towards the ideal business that I wanted. And that hustle eventually led to senior portraits, glamour shots, and eventually boudoir photography. I eventually got my own studio, and I built it up to multiple 6 figures per year, making on average $3,000 per photo shoot. And at one point, I was the highest paid photographer in my area. But here's the part nobody tells you, because even after all of that, I was still hustling for every sale. There were good months and there were slow months. There was always a little bit of uncertainty around where the next client was going to come from. Hustle had built the business, but hustle was also what was keeping me trapped. Before I keep going, .online Domains is sponsoring this video. And I want to take a second on this because it actually matters for creative business owners specifically. You're building a following, you're growing a creative business. And at some point, whether it's a portfolio, a shop, a course, or a coaching page, you're going to need a website, which means you need a domain name. And your domain name is part of your first impression. If your customers see a long, clunky domain, you can kiss that sale goodbye. And .online is the perfect domain extension for business websites. Because let's be honest, with most good .coms taken, .online gives you a clean, credible domain name. Something like yourcreativebusiness.online. It's easy to remember, professional, and actually says what you do. And literally millions of businesses trust and use .online. We're talking artists, photographers, educators, coaches, and service providers. And because the word online is used in over 500 million search inquiries per month, having it in your domain gives your website more visibility on search engines, which is exactly what a growing creative business needs. You can grab yours at major providers like GoDaddy, Namecheap, and Squarespace. But for a special deal, use the link in the description below this video along with code MOLLY to get your .online domain for just 99 cents today. Okay, now here's where it got really interesting for me. And honestly, it's the single biggest thing that I want artists and creatives to take away from this video. I stopped chasing clients and started building my own following online. And when I finally started growing a following, sales stopped feeling like a constant chase. People found me, and they were already pre-sold on me by the time they reached out. They booked sessions because they'd been watching my content for weeks or even months. It was a completely different feeling from door knocking, DMs, and trade shows. And here's the thing. back when I started, I was growing my following through blogging because that's what worked then. But today, if I was starting over from scratch, I would not start a blog. I would go straight to YouTube, just like what I'm doing today. And I've literally tested this. I spent 6 months doing 1 blog post a week and 6 to 9 pins on Pinterest per day. And over an entire year, it got us like 100 leads and maybe 1 sale. Then I tested Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts against my long form YouTube content, which, by the way, long form is the type of video you're watching now. Shorts got me about half the amount of views, but it only brought me in 2 sales during that 6-month test. And long form brought me in 75 sales during that same time frame. That is not a small difference. That is a completely different business. So whatever your creative thing is, painting, photography, ceramics, knitting, fashion design, crochet, illustration, if you want to stop hustling for every sale, you need to build a following. And right now, hands down, YouTube is the best platform to do that on. And if you want my exact YouTube script template, the one that I use to go from 0 to over 100K subscribers and the one that I still use to this day, go ahead and click the link in the description below this video and you can download it for yourself completely for free. Okay, but here's where things get really good, because just having a following selling your art is just one income stream. Diversifying your income is where you actually build a creative business that lasts. Once I had a following, I started getting messages from photographers asking to learn from me and asking how I was booking so many clients. So I started doing one-on-one coaching and in-person workshops at my studio. And I loved it, but here's what I learned really fast. Coaching and workshops just made me even busier. My problem that I had was I was running out of time and I was trading my time for money. So I knew that that wasn't the answer. Then in 2014, I went to a local women's business conference where I heard about digital products for the very first time. It was completely life-changing information because I realized I could take what I was teaching in my coaching and workshops and put it into digital products that I would just have to create one time that I could sell over and over and over again. No more repeating myself over and over and no more trading all of my time for money. So I decided to carve out every single Friday to start working on my digital products. And that side income turned into making more money than my photography business really fast. And in 2024, after 16 years as a full-time photographer and full-time teaching photographers online, I decided to start this business, Freedom Creator, where I help you get to 10K plus months teaching what you know online. And here's what I really need you to hear. You don't have to be a photographer for this to work. If you're a painter, you can teach people how to paint. If you're a knitter, you can teach people how to knit. If you're a fashion designer, you can teach people how to get started with fashion design. If you're a crocheter, you can teach people how to crochet. I think you're getting it. There are people out there who want to learn what you already know. And a percentage of people watching your art content are going to want to buy your art. And another percentage of those people are going to want to pay to learn from you. And if you want my exact framework to teach my students on how to find their profitable digital product idea, how to launch it for their first sales, and how to sell it after that for consistent sales, go ahead, snag your seat. It's linked in the description below this video, and it's a completely free on-demand training. Okay, now let me give you the exact 4-step plan that I would use if I was starting over today. I call it YouTube freebie email list checkout page. Write that down because that's the entire funnel. Step 1 is YouTube. Pick your creative niche and start posting long-form videos consistently every single week. Show your process, show your art, show your behind the scenes. People love watching art get made. It is one of the most watchable categories on the internet today. So you definitely have an unfair advantage as a creative. Step 2, freebie. This is a free resource that will help your audience get a quick win and also get them onto your email list. This is how you're going to move your YouTube viewers to email subscribers, because when you sell via your email list, it's 40 times more effective than selling with social media alone. We're talking a checklist, a template, or a quick guide. Something simple, because the whole point of a freebie is to get them a quick win without them having to do a ton of reading or a ton of watching. You want them to get a quick win to build that know, like, and trust with you quickly. Step 3 is your email list. This is your moneymaker. Again, this converts 40 times more than selling directly through social media alone. So what I do is I have an automated email sequence that's months long, and I also send out a pre-scheduled weekly newsletter. One story, one lesson, one call to action. That's the formula. All right, step 4 is checkout page. This is where you turn your followers into buyers. Your checkout page lists your digital product, what's included, and of course has a form where they can put in their information to actually pay. Now, if you're wondering what I use for something like this, I use System.io. And if you use the link in my description below, you can get a totally free account. It's not a free trial, it's a totally free account. So you can grow your email list and make your first sales with System completely for free. And that is the entire system, my friend. YouTube to bring people in, Freebie to move your YouTube viewers to email subscribers, your email list to nurture them and move them to your checkout page, and your checkout page to actually make the sales. YouTube, Freebie, email list, checkout page. It really can be that simple. Even with my current membership, Freedom Creator Club, I made my first $100,000 in sales with just YouTube, Freebie, email list, checkout page. That's it. And here's what I want you to take away from this whole video. Hustle definitely gets you started. Trust me, unfortunately, I know that better than just about anyone. But door knocking and scraping Facebook is only going to get you so far. Hustle is what gets you in the game, but hustle isn't what keeps you in the game because you will easily burn out. Growing a following and diversifying your income streams is. Teaching what you already know through digital products, that is what has built a creative business that has lasted me so long. And if you want to learn how to do this step by step from me, along with a community of hundreds of other creatives going through this journey together and weekly group coaching calls to answer any questions you have, go ahead and check out my membership, Freedom Creator Club. It's linked in the description below this video. Now that you know exactly how to stop hustling and build a creative business that actually lasts, you're probably thinking,
okay, Molly, YouTube sounds amazing,
but what's the best way for me to get started and actually stick with this? Well, that's exactly what I'm covering in this next video here, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in this video, it's going to be way more powerful. See you in the next one.